Hello, I'm going to talk to you about how to add an image to your post, your article. So first of all, you would have written in lots of lovely stuff in the big main area for writing the content, and you would want to add, say, a picture to go with that content. So the best thing to do, first of all, is to prepare your picture in advance and make it all ready and beautiful. And if you can have it set as a JPEG, that is the best format for putting a picture into a post. In this stage, it doesn't really matter how big it is because I can show you how to make it bigger and smaller actually within the post. But what it really needs to be is a small, what we call resolution. And if you can somehow manage to make the resolution small, as in 72 dots per square inch, it's called a DPI. This is quite technical stuff, but generally if you've taken something with your mobile phone, it's going to be a high resolution. Whereas if you've got some clever person who can make your picture into a small resolution, it'll be much better because it means that it'll take a shorter time to come up in your post when someone clicks on the page to read it. A little bit of technical stuff there, but in reality, it doesn't really matter. All these things sort of are leveled out now with WordPress now. It makes things much easier. It copes with all sorts of pictures that are thrown at it. So you've made your picture and you've put it in a safe place in your computer. In my case, I've popped it into the desktop because I'm only showing you an example, but remember to always correctly label or title or call your picture something recognizable, something that you will find quickly and describes the picture properly. Because I'm going to be posting a picture about the Brighton Pavilion here, and I've called it the Brighton Pavilion. So you can easily find it quickly, and if I was part of your team, I'd probably store it somewhere called the Brighton Society, for example, and in a folder about historic buildings or something. So always store it carefully and call it properly. Don't give it and let it have a title with lots of letters and numbers and whatnot, because it's meaningless to you and it's meaningless to your readers and it's meaningless to the search engines. So make sure your pictures are always properly called something. Right, now you've created your lovely text, you've created your picture in the background and given it a proper name, and now it's time to pop it into the post. So you take your cursor and you pop the cursor where you want the picture to be. In this case, we've only got one paragraph, so we're popping the cursor at the very beginning, but you can put your cursor anywhere you like and picture will then appear in that place. So pop your cursor in that place there with your mouse, just there. And then you go to add media up here, this big button here, okay? Click on add media. And it will show all the pictures you've already got in what's called your library, your media library up here. So all the pictures have already been added and they're all sitting there beautifully in your media library to use again. And if you want to use any of these guys, you can just click on it. You can see it clicked with a big tick in the corner, and then all the lovely information down the side to insert into the post there. So what we're going to do is actually we're not going to use one of these ones. We're going to use a new one. So supposing you wanted to have a new one, you find the tab here called Upload Files, and you get a button here which says Select Files. and this takes you to your computer. Now, as you can see, I have here something called Brighton Pavilion, which is what I was talking about. I hope I've spelt it correctly. Oh, never mind. Anyway, there it is. So I click on it, I select or open it, and it will automatically start to upload it. There it is, perfect, into the library. Now there it is, ticked, which means it's highlighted. Here on the right side is all the fancy stuff that goes on. You can see that I've given it a name, Brighton Pavilion, and it is relevant to the picture. Highlight that and copy it. I usually do a Control or an Apple C, but there's various ways to copy it, and put it into this particular area here. It's called the alt text. Now, alt text or alternative text is the information behind pictures that the search engines can see. Search engines can't read pictures, they can only read words. So what you do is you give your pictures some words, and if it's a description, which is basically Brighton Pavilion, is all about this picture about the Brighton Pavilion, that marries up with the actual picture, and not only can the search engines now see you've got a picture about the Brighton Pavilion, which helps with their search, because supposing they were searching for a picture of Brighton Pavilion, you have a much better chance of having your post come up for that search than you would have done before. So that the title and alt text marry up together. Another thing about the alt text is that if you have a person with hindered eyesight and has a computer that speaks what is on its screen, it will also tell that person that there was a picture about the Brighton Pavilion, which they wouldn't know before. Okay, so you've created a nice title and you've given it the same thing with the alt text there. The caption, if you want to give it a caption, that's where you put the caption in there. You could call it Brighton Pavilion if you wanted to as well. Might as well call it Brighton Pavilion, because I can show you where the caption comes. You needn't worry about description, but that's up to you, but it's not imperative. Now down here is interesting. At the moment, alignment is at centre. I would put it at first to the left, and I can show you how you can change it later, actually in the post itself. It doesn't link anywhere, but it can link to the actual, oh yes, another thing, just like your posts, each media page has each picture you put into your library has its own page. Everything has its own page. You've got its own page for the posts, own page for the pages, own page for the images, own page for anything else you put into the to the website. You've got your own page for the categories, an own page for the tags. It's all pages and pages and pages. All these wonderful pages are created automatically and magically without you having to worry about them. However, this new picture you popped into the library has its own page. It has it can also be linked, and this is quite confusing, linked to any other page you like within your website, or any other page you like outside of your website. So that's where you would pop the web address of if you want to link the image to somewhere else. Okay, at the moment I'm sticking it down to none because it's easiest. I would also expect it to be full size. Make sure it's full size always. Okay, if it isn't, it comes out distorted and then all sorts of horrible things. So just full size for the size. Now we've done all this, and we can now put it. Or if you want to delete it, it's up there. But don't worry about deleting it. Okay, it's fine. So insert into the post, because we've done all the stuff here. Insert into the post, and there it is. Beautifully done. There is the caption. Beautifully done. but you don't need to put the caption if you don't want to. But what's more important is behind the scenes, it's got a title and it's got an alt text which says Brighton Pavilion, because that's what it is. Now, if you click on this, right, if you click on it, you get some more lovely menus coming up. That says a line left. If you want to do a line right, you line right. And now it plops over to the other side. And you find that all the lovely writing has moved over to the other side. And so that if you don't need to worry about wrapping, because the text automatically wraps around it. Okay? Click on it again. You can see that you've got a nice edit button there. And here you can change the caption or get rid of it if you don't like it. And you can change the left, right, centre, etc. None means it just sits by itself and the text goes underneath. You can link it to somewhere if you want to link it to. And if you want to link it, you can make it open a new tab so that you don't lose the page when you click on it. You always have the original post in its own tab and nobody loses your original post. So anyway, so what we're doing is we're sticking it on the right for the time being, and we're updating it down here in the corner. Right, now you'll see the caption's gone because I've uploaded it. So another thing you can do is if you click on it, you'll see that in the corners there are little tiny squares. These little tiny squares, which mean you can actually adapt it. So you can drag it to be bigger, or you can drag it to be smaller, whichever fits. So if you put it in and it's not quite the right size, you can adjust it to be a different size. And as you can see, all this lovely writing here adjusts according to what size it is. So you can adjust it in the actual post, which is brilliant, superb. So no need to worry about the fact it's too small or too big. You can adjust it in situ. So at the bottom, I mentioned in the last video, there was something here called the featured image. And remember I said that is the image that shows up on the post. And otherwise you'd have just listings on your home page and no image, and it would look terrible. So this is where you would put in set the featured image. This is where you would select the featured image you want to appear. You can see it selected with a tick in the corner, and you've done all the stuff here already, so you take that away. You don't want to put that in there, don't want any captions. And you would then set featured image down here in the bottom, and you'll see there it pops up, and that would now appear in the front page with your post that you've written about, so people can see it's all about the Brighton Pavilion. So that's where you would put it there. Okay, so that shows you how to put in an image into your post. Speak to you in the next video.